Hello, everybody. This is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and yeah, at first I thought I woke up this morning and that my nephews had snuck out of the house. And by snuck out of the house, I mean I didn't hear anything. I went and looked in their room; they weren't here. And then I saw my mom's car was still there, and I was like, my sister must have gotten the kids at some point last night, which didn't make any sense to me because she normally doesn't come and get them on the weekdays. She normally gets them on the weekends because they have school. And she would have to drive all the way down here to take my oldest to school and then go back to take my youngest. So, yeah. So thankfully that theory was confirmed and my sister came in with my nephew earlier and had already dropped off my oldest nephew. So, yeah. I don't get it, but I have to be at work today, so it ain't that big a deal. Anyway, this is going to be my review for Monster Rancher Episode 2. I apologize so much that I didn't get a whole lot done yesterday, Monster Rancher wise, but that was due to the fact that I got called into work. I was originally supposed to have tomorrow off. Didn't happen. Anyway, wait. Tomorrow he said that today was his day off, so it would have been Chrissy and here. Alright. Let me just make sure I'm getting this info right. Because I was just thinking, yeah. Okay, so if she doesn't come in, then he's gonna have to come in. Because I'm not pulling a double. I refuse. I refuse to pull a double. Because I've already had worked every day this week except Saturday. That's it. Anyway, Monster Rancher Episode 2. I'll try to get some done tomorrow if I'm able to, because I think I'm closing tomorrow, so I should be good. But yeah, I already downloaded up to episode 7 because I only had episodes 1 and 2 downloaded. I thought that I had 2 and 3, but when I checked, it turns out I only had episodes 1 and 2. Excuse me. Anyway, we find out that yes, once a monster comes out of the mystery discs, that they're babies essentially, because Moji was acting like a little baby, essentially as baby a monster as it could be anyway. Genki wasn't too thrilled about this because it was wanting attention, and he is still just a little kid himself, so not really used to babies, maybe. Anyway, so I think her name was Holly. Let me go look. Anyway, she starts carrying him, and actually he has to take his roller skates off because they get to a steep incline. They can't really ride those, use those on that, so he has to end up walking around with no shoes for the majority of the episode. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Let me just look this up instead. Monster Rancher characters instead of the episode. That was stupid. Yeah, her name was Holly, I think. Huh. Yeah, her name was Holly. Okay. So I was right. Huh. I figured I was going to get her name wrong because I didn't really remember her name. Looks like I did remember it after all. But yeah, Holly starts carrying him, and I wonder how much he weighs, considering she was able to carry him up that steep incline very easily. Anyway, they were heading to the nearest village because, well, Mochi was hungry, and Genki needed to get some new shoes because, he didn't really have any shoes besides the skates, and you can't obviously ride those on rough terrain, for example. Anyway, they get to town, and there's like so many monsters running around with their owners, and they go to get some food. And they start talking about the big bad again, and apparently, this freaks out everybody in the restaurant to where they all leave, run out, like something spooked them, essentially. Turns out that, the big bad, Moo? I think that's what they said his name was? Moo? What am I, a cow? Anyway, apparently, he would take mystery discs that he would find and use the monsters inside them for evil. And if they are able to get the Phoenix, apparently the Phoenix will turn them all back to the side of good, possibly even Moo himself. First off, makes me think that Moo is a monster himself, because I don't know if that would work on humans. I highly doubt it, because if it was that simple to turn someone from good to evil, then yeah, or not really easy. Well, you get what I'm saying. Once they had the Phoenix, if it was that easy to turn someone from the side of bad to the side of good by just using the Phoenix, then that seems a little too easy. Because, yeah, people are more complicated than that. And again, this was an old show, so they might have had simpler villains back then. What am I saying? Of course they did. They were either straight out bad or not necessarily bad. Let me see. Anyway, they try and get some shoes, but everybody is rushing off away from them, acting like they've got the plague, essentially. And, yeah, they were unable to get shoes for Genki, but they were at least able to get some food. Some. Not a whole lot, because they were kicked out before they could even finish eating. Anyway, later, after they had left, those same monsters that were attacking them before showed up and found out where they were heading, or at least the general direction. And we find out that Holly's got an amulet or something that shows where the next mystery disc is. And it makes me wonder something. Have the bad guys not seen her use that? I'm assuming not. Because, to be completely honest, if I was a bad guy and I was looking for all that stuff, and I found out that this girl has a thing that helps her find them, I would have taken it. Or that would have been the logical choice to do. Take it. Because, well, if you're looking for Mr. Justin, you'd rather not get destroyed by your boss. Yeah, that would probably be your best bet to survive, essentially. So they end up actually running into an old man, and he offers to let them stay at his place for the night, right out of the blue. But I was like, oh, it comes with a catch, because Genki and shoot, now I know I've forgotten the monster that's with Holly. But yeah, those two end up pulling the wagon while the others just sit on the wagon, and I'm like, really? And they get back to his place, And we find out that, obviously he has a wife, and that they don't have any monsters of their own. They're acting like, when they say that, they're acting like monsters are their children, because that's the same way they talked about monsters, as if they would a child. And Mochi takes an immediate liking to them. And Genki's, watching this, and when I saw he was watching it, I was like, is he gonna have Mochi go back with them? But they end up leaving, and I was like, oh, I guess not. But later, they end up finding the mystery disc. It was in a tree for some strange reason, and she kept on saying it was by the tree, and I'm like, why not check the tree? Because she was standing right in front of it where everybody else was digging. I mean, that thing shows the general direction, right? You should have been able to do it. Should have pointed right behind you, essentially. But yeah, it was in the tree. And at that point, it started raining, so they had to take shelter in a cave. And that's when Genki told Mochi, you need to go and stay with Matthew because you will be safe there and they will treat you well. Because they were treating him like their own. And Mochi obviously did not want to, and he ran off. Everybody else runs out and tries to find him, and Genki ends up running into the bad guys. And ends up declaring that, yeah, Mochi might be a monster, but he's still his friend. And thankfully Mochi just saves him, surprisingly enough. I figured that Mochi would be a really low level because it was just created. And if my glasses look off, it's because of the way I have my headphones, I think. No, they aren't off, it's just the way the lighting is. Really? I swear they look crooked. I'm sorry, they looked crooked to me. Maybe they aren't, and I'm just weird. Well, then again, I'm already weird. I don't think that was the issue here. Anyway, they end up taking the mystery disc into town and using it at their thing, which I'm surprised that the monsters haven't staked out, because if you're going there with the mystery disc, that would probably be your best chance to steal it. And it makes it into a little little dinosaur. And as they're leaving, Matthew and his wife show up again, and Genki offers to give them that monster, essentially. And yeah, everything ends up working out fine. So now they have their own monster. Anyway, oh god, I'm so damn tired. Even though I originally had to be at work at 8, which it's actually, I would be heading to work at this point if that was the case. No, she told me I could be here at 10 instead, and it's still 8, and that could be because I ended up waking up naturally at 6:40 this morning. Because usually, because I figured that, the kids would wake me up because they're loud in the morning. But no, I didn't hear anything, so I got up, looked and saw it was light out. I was like, oh. So I checked, they weren't in their bed and all that, so yeah, it was like 6:40. I was like, oh, I guess they weren't here. So it's a good thing I did wake myself up, or else I probably would have slept in until it was almost time for me to go. So I wouldn't have been able to get this done. Anyway, I'll get to work on all this. I have a lot of Black Clover to go through and edit because I got up to episode 73, I think. It was either 72 or 73. Let me check that real quick. Okay, all those were edited. I guess it was 72. No? Maybe it was... Maybe that was 73. Anyway, I've got a lot to work on. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.